I'm Eileen Bechtold of Salt and Light Reformed Presbyterian Church in Longmont, Colorado, and a member of the Education and Publication Board, which is responsible for the communications work that goes on within the denomination. First of all, let me start with Crown and Covenant Publications, which is the denominational publisher and bookstore. They provide the resources for Reformed Presbyterian authors and communicators of all kinds to go to publication. The stated mission of Crown and Covenant Publications is to educate and equip the members of the RPCNA so that they'll grow individually and corporately. So their efforts in fulfilling this mission is to produce the Psalters, the books, the CDs, and even digital media that we use all the time in our denomination. You may have the Psalter app on your mobile device or your iPad as a help in singing the Psalms. They have a specific product offering to raise up our children in these Reformed doctrines and to promote the quality teaching of RPCNA positions like mediatorial kingship, worship, and a Reformed worldview. It's so interesting that more than 75% of their clients are non-RP. Also under the oversight of the EMP board is the Reformed Presbyterian Witness, which is the denominational magazine that's available at a subscription, both in print and online. The mission of the RP Witness is to inform, to unite, and to encourage the body of the RPCNA and to promote the confessional testimony. And finally, the EMP board is responsible for the oversight of other RPCNA communications, like 6 denominational websites, and also the social media updates and management. So now that you know what the EMP board does, let me tell you a little bit about what these entities provide with the support of RPM&M funds. First of all, these funds spur your denominational publisher to recruit and assist pastors, authors, and communicators all the way to publication. One key example is Rosaria Butterfield's first book, The Secret Thoughts of an Unlikely Convert. This has demonstrated the potential of what an RP author under a small publishing house can accomplish. It's had such a wide distribution of over 70,000 copies sold in print, not including the international versions, 24,000 in ebook sales, and 22,000 in audio sales. And so with this wide distribution, there's been influence on other denominational leaders. For example, Russell Moore of the Southern Baptist Convention, who gave a wonderful endorsement of Rosaria's second book. Rosaria was also interviewed by Focus on the Family, and I saw firsthand the excitement of Jim Daly doing the interview with her. So with the popularity of that first book and now her second book, we've established a credible platform for the RPCNA doctrines and testimonies, and there's a tangible effect on the world. It also offers exposure for other titles already in print, like Jeanette Lee and Messiah the Prince Revisited. Our 3 new Book of Psalms for Worship CDs being produced right now, and also the Psalters, the Book of Psalms for Worship and for Singing, that are already in publication, just getting broader exposure within the body of Christ's church. And so RPM&M funds avail new distinctive work, and there's much reason to be excited about the work going on in the future. Rosaria Butterfield's second book is now in print. It's called Openness Unhindered. It has had wonderful reviews. We have 2 new works in process by Pastors Gordon Ketty and Rut Etheridge. 3 new Book of Psalms for Worship CDs means that more psalm singing can be in the hands of the greater church, and I'm happy to report that more than half of the Psalter is now recorded on CD. Brad Johnston's new book, it's called 150 Questions About the Psalter, What You Need to Know About the Songs God Wrote. That book has sold over half of its print run already, and it will also now be included in the Psalm Singing Starter Kits. Did you know there were Psalm Singing Starter Kits? And so our small denomination is slowly but surely gaining a foothold in international markets and able to supply follow-up publications to great works that are already in print. RPM&M funds encourage the cultivation of more RP authors with broad audience potential. And finally, RPM&M funds subsidize the salaries of our staff. And I want to stress that this is a staff who is committed to the efficient use of those funds. And they do so much for being so few. The efforts of only a handful of people are multiplied thousands of times over. And so we as a board are grateful to God for blessing the work of this board. We're grateful for the dedicated staff who give so much of themselves and provide this ministry to us. And we're so grateful to you, the body, for donating to RPM&M, who helps further the work of the kingdom, to be Christ's hands and feet as we bring the message of Reformed doctrine to the world. Thank you so much for your support.